Hare Krishna everyone, welcome back to Shravanam Diaries podcast. I'm your host Sulalita Devidasi and we are continuing to read Beyond Illusion and Doubt, originally known as Dialectic, Spiritualism, Vedic Views on Western Philosophy. Chapter 2, Plato. Yesterday we read about Socrates, today we're reading about Plato. Plato, 428 to 347 BC, was one of the most creative and influential thinkers in Western philosophy. The chief student of Socrates, he founded the Academy in Athens in 387 BC, beginning an institution that continued for almost 1,000 years and came to be known as the first European university. There are some striking similarities between Plato's ideal state and the one Krishna outlines in the Bhagavad Gita. But, as Srila Prabhupada points out, Plato erred in his conception of the soul and of the goal of education. Disciple. In the Republic, Plato's major work on political theory, Plato wrote that society can enjoy prosperity and harmony only if it places people in working categories or classes according to their natural abilities. He thought people should find out their natural abilities and use those abilities to their fullest capacity, as administrators, as military men, or as craftsmen. Most important, the head of the state should not be an average or mediocre man. Instead, society should be led by a very wise and good man, a philosopher king, or a group of very wise and good men. Srila Prabhupada. This idea appears to be taken from the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says that the ideal society has 4 divisions: Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. These divisions come about by the influence of the modes of nature. Everyone, both in human society and in animal society, is influenced by the modes of material nature: Sattvaguna, Rajaguna, and Tamaguna, or goodness, passion, and ignorance. By scientifically classifying men according to these qualities, society can become perfect. But if we place a man in the mode of ignorance in a philosopher's post, or put a philosopher to work as an ordinary laborer, havoc will result. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that the Brahmanas, the most intelligent men who are interested in transcendental knowledge and philosophy, should be given the topmost posts. And under their instructions, the Kshatriyas should work. The administrators should see that there is law and order and that everyone is doing his duty. The next section is the productive class, the Vaishyas, who engage in agriculture and cow protection. And finally, there are the Shudras, common laborers who help the other sections. This is Vedic civilization. People living simply on agriculture and cow protection. If you have enough milk, grain, fruits and vegetables, you can live very nicely. The Srimad Bhagavatam compares the 4 divisions of society to the different parts of the body: the head, the arms, the belly, and the legs. Just as all parts of the body cooperate to keep the body fit. In the ideal state, all sections of society cooperate under the leadership of the Brahmanas. Comparatively, the head is the most important part of the body, since it gives directions to the other parts. Similarly, the ideal state functions under the directions of the Brahmanas, who are not personally interested in political affairs or administration because they have a higher duty. At present, this Krishna consciousness movement is training Brahmanas. If the administrators take our advice and conduct the state in a Krishna conscious way, there will be an ideal society throughout the world. Disciple: how does modern society differ from the Vedic ideal? Srila Prabhupada: now there is large-scale industrialization, which means exploitation of one person by another. Such industry was unknown in Vedic civilization. It was unnecessary. In addition, modern civilization has taken to slaughtering and eating animals, which is barbarous. It is not even human. In Vedic civilization, when a person was unfit to rule, he was deposed. For instance, King Vena proved to be an unfit king. He was simply interested in hunting. Of course, Kshatriyas are allowed to hunt, but not whimsically. They're not allowed to kill many birds and beasts unnecessarily, as King Vena was doing, and as people do today. At that time, the intelligent Brahmanas objected and immediately killed him with a curse. Formerly, the Brahmanas had so much power that they could kill simply by cursing. Weapons were not necessary. At present, however, because the head of the social body is missing, it's a dead body. The head is very important, and our Krishna consciousness movement is attempting to create some Brahmanas who will form the head of society. Then the administrators will be able to rule very nicely under the instructions of the philosophers and theologians, that is, under the instructions of God-conscious people. A God-conscious Brahmana would never advise opening slaughterhouses. But now the many rascals heading the government allow animal slaughter. When Maharaja Parikshit saw a degraded man trying to kill a cow, he immediately drew his sword and said, "Who are you? Why are you trying to kill this cow?" He was a real king. Nowadays, unqualified men have taken the presidential post, and although they may pose themselves as very religious, they are simply rascals. Why? Because under their noses, thousands of cows are being killed while they collect a good salary. Any leader who is at all religious should resign his post in protest if cow slaughter goes on under his rule. Since people do not know that these administrators are rascals, they are suffering. And the people are also rascals because they are voting for these bigger rascals. It is Plato's view that the government should be ideal, and this is the ideal. The saintly philosophers should be at the head of the state. According to their advice, the politicians should rule. Under the protection of the politicians, the productive class should protect the cows and provide the necessities of life, and the laborer class should help. This is the scientific division of society that Krishna advocates in the Bhagavad Gita 4.13. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagashaha. According to the three modes of material nature and the work ascribed to them, the four divisions of human society were created by me. Unquote. Disciple. Plato also observed social divisions. However, he advocated three divisions. One class consisted of the guardians, men of wisdom who governed society. Another class consisted of the warriors, who were courageous and who protected the rest of society. And the third class consisted of the artisans, who performed their services obediently and worked only to satisfy their appetites. Srila Prabhupada. Yes, human society does have this threefold division also. The first class man is in the mode of goodness, the second class man is in the mode of passion, and the third class man is in the mode of ignorance. Disciple. Plato's understanding of the social order was based on his observation that man has a threefold division of intelligence, courage, and appetite. He said that the soul has these three qualities. Srila Prabhupada. That is a mistake. The soul does not have any material qualities. The soul is pure, but because of his contact with the different qualities of material nature, he is dressed, in quotes, dressed in various bodies. This Krishna consciousness movement aims at removing this material dress. Our first instruction is, quote, "You are not this body." It appears that in his practical understanding, Plato identified the soul with the bodily dress, and that does not show very good intelligence. Disciple. Plato believed that man's position is marginal between matter and spirit, and therefore he also stressed the development of the body. He thought that everyone should be educated from an early age, and that part of that education should be gymnastics, to keep the body fit. Srila Prabhupada. This means that in practice, Plato very strongly identified the self as the body. What was Plato's idea of education? Disciple. To awaken the student to his natural position, whatever his natural abilities or talents are. Srila Prabhupada. And what is that natural position? And we'll find out tomorrow. So, thank you so much for tuning in today. The link to this book is in the description. Please visit our website, shravanamdiaries.com, where you will find the book catalog, episode timeline, many other articles. And yes, we shall see you. Hare Krishna.